Okay, everyone, let me get up here on the stage and take out that overlay. All right, excellent. Hold on, I got to do one thing over here on my let's see here, 2-1. All right, very cool. All right, so I'm on TikTok live too, so I'll be watching that as well. If you're watching me from YouTube or Facebook Live or something, pretty soon you'll be able to do it right on TikTok as well. I first have to build up my TikTok cred or whatever it is that takes place. All right, so let me tell you what we're going to be going through today. I'm going to show you how we use AI to make multifamily offers and how we've created a system that is just absolutely so slick and so smooth that it just does. Every multifamily investor needs this tool. Let me just kind of give you some of the components. It's really made up of 3 components. Number 1 is the AI systems creator. And I'm going to go over that today when I show you how to make an offer. The next thing that is necessary in this program, in this system, is the community. You've got to have a community of other like-minded people. This gets to be a very lonely business. I mean, you're in there looking at properties, trying to do the calculations, and nobody in your friend group is doing the same thing. You're all by yourself. So it's great to have a group of people just like you to help you through all of the processes, all the down and outers. When you get an offer rejected, you can turn to the crowd and they're there to pick you up. But more importantly, they're also there to help you buy the properties. I mean, you can partner with everybody in my community, and some have money, some have expertise, some have great credit. Whatever you need, you can find that within our community. And the final thing, which is the newest feature, which I think is absolutely fantastic, is the Capital Club. I mean, think about it. One of the biggest problems new investors have in getting started is getting the money. Well, what if your community brought the money as well? And that's exactly what the MultifamilyOS.ai is all about. To keep it easy, we call it OSAI, operating system, artificial intelligence. And you've got to really just check it out. So what we're going to do is I'm going to show you how to find deals using AI. Then we're going to analyze the deals all within the same system. And then we're going to make an offer to the owner right here, all within this next hour. And I'm going to walk you through every step of the way, and you're going to find out how incredibly easy it is. And that's the thing about this business is, and my students hear me say it, they've heard me say it a million times, if you're not making offers, this is nothing more than a very expensive hobby. And we don't need hobbies. All right, let me just get this, click that. There we go. Good. All right. Let me see. We're letting more viewers know you're live. Okay, cool. Hello, Costas. Costas 617. So he's down there in the Boston area. All right. First thing we're going to do is let me kind of walk you through the program, the OSAI program. I'm going to share. Let me see, share the screen, and I'm going to go right here for starters. Okay, so what you see here is the home page. Whenever you log into OSAI, this is what you'll see. So it's the sales page, and it's also the login page. It shows you everything that it has. I recommend you go through this acquisitions, all the different steps, all the things that it does for you. It's your marketing assistant, it's your underwriting manager, it's your own legal department, and it's your investor relations specialist. We're putting up videos to talk more specifically about all these things, but it really gives you an idea of what this program is all about. What it also has is the Capital Club. And this is something that you have to, if you don't have money, you want to join the Capital Club. And it just gives you some of the more information. Go ahead and scroll away. But what I do want you to see here is, there are 3 levels to this program, okay? There's the core, which is free. Go ahead, try it out. Get started for free. Then there's the access, the plus access, which is $75 per month, or you see this is billed annually. It's actually $90 per month. And then also you get a big discount if you sign up annually. And then also the Pro, which is $297. It's like having your SaaS. What we're going to be going through today is entirely the professional level service. And as you can see down here, you only get access to the Capital Club if you're a professional member, and you have to be a member for at least 6 months if you're paying monthly. If you sign up annually, you instantly get access to the Capital Club. And I'm going to be talking in 2 weeks, because next Saturday, obviously, it's going to be the Thanksgiving weekend, and I won't be around. Be visiting my children, 2 of my kids out in San Francisco. Very excited about that. But let's get started. So what I'm going to do here is walk you through the Discover component of the program. Now, the way it works is we have every multifamily property in the country loaded up into this system. It doesn't matter whether it's for sale or whether it's not on the market. Everything is in here. Now, the way we get the information is from all the different assessors' offices. We can purchase different lists and API, and sometimes different assessors' offices report the data differently. So if that's the case in your market, the market you're looking in, you just have to understand that. For instance, in some markets, you get it's either 2 units or N/A under the units. Now you think to yourself, well, wait a minute, how the heck, what's N/A if I'm looking at multifamily? Well, it means that particular slot is not being reported by the assessor's office. And actually, some states, that's the way it is. I know that South Carolina and I believe North Carolina both do it, which means you cannot search on the number of units. But in this program, you can search on so many different levels. And not only is it easy, and you can just come over here and click and figure out which is the most important that you have. I mean, I can come down here and look here. We can do a search on REOs, pre-foreclosures. We can do a search on, let me see, where's the not the flood zone sales history. If you want to do active on MLS, you can say, yes, I want to just look at what's active on MLS. And the thing is, you can come in here and put in an address, put in a geographical area, put in a county, a city, a state, and it pulls up all that information. I mean, we're going to start fooling around here today in Tampa. So if you just type in Tampa, Florida, and do a search, you can see there are 4,558 multifamily properties in Tampa. Now, what you can do now is start to hone it down even further. I like using the smart features, the smart search feature, and we've already built the searches for you. So over here, you can just click on motivated sellers. Well, what's a motivated seller? All you have to do is put your cursor over that block, and all of a sudden it pops up. The definition of what is a motivated seller. I think what we're using are absentee owners who have owned the property for at least 10 years. That is what we consider to be a motivated seller. All right. So, this is now in this case, that boils it down to 180 properties. Now, what we can also do is, come over here to, if you use Crexy. Hold on, let me just make sure, because I think share this tab instead. Good. So I just jumped on over to Crexy. I did a search on Tampa. So you can come to this, other sources like LoopNet, Crexy, what have you, and find properties that are on the market, and then jump back on over to the OS.ai and start doing a full search. So that's what we're going to do here today. Is I'm going to show you how you can use the existing sources, that everybody uses, the Crexy, the LoopNet, and you can then take that property back over to OS.ai and start to do an AI analysis of that property. So I went in, I typed in Orlando, Florida, and I did, as you can see, I just looked at multifamily properties for sale in Orlando, Florida. And this one right here popped up, and I kind of like this one. I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to, let me see if I jump on over here. I'm going to share this tab instead. Right here, as you can see, it's a 124 unit property built in 73. So that tells me it's a solid C class. But the really interesting thing here is that it's unpriced. It's unpriced. So how do we figure out what the price of this property should be and what we can make an offer on? Because even if you look at the flyer, which I'm going to pull up right here as soon as it pops up. Basically, it's the same thing as we saw on the website. No new information. He's not giving us any trailing 12s. He's not telling us anything more about the property. So what we're going to do is take the information that we have right here and then carry it on over back to the OS.ai program and start to make an offer on this deal. All right. So here, one of the most important things is going to be the address. I'm going to need that address. I'm going to copy it. And then over here, you can see it's 124 units, built in 73, 97% occupancy. Okay, no financials. I got nothing. So what do I do about that? Well, I'll show you. Let's jump on over, and we're going to come over here. I'm going to put in here the address of the property. There it is. I'm going to hit search. Watch, I got to do this again. I'm going to click on it right there, hit search. I love it when it does this. I love it when it works in rehearsal, but not now. There we go. Come on. Did I already save it? Let me see. Let me see if I can do a 7120. Oh, no. Let's try it again. 7120, Forest City Road, Orlando. Boom. Search. There it is. Oh, thank you. Thank you. This is live TV, folks. That's what happens. I knew it was in there. I already kind of tested it. But look what happens here. When we pull it up, right away, we know the assessed value is $18.5 million. Now, I believe through my conversations with students of mine that Florida's assessment is pretty spot on. Their equalization rate is pretty close to 100. So I'm going to guess that the numbers are going to start to work around 18.5 million, but we're going to be able to figure that out very, very quickly. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm in the Discover component. I'm going to bring it on over to Engage. So I'm just going to select these. Now I'm going to come on over here to Engage, and there it is. Now what we're going to do is we're going to start to engage this property and view all the details. Now watch what we do. The first thing is we've got to go in there and do some financial analysis. All right. So let's start building out the numbers for this property. Now the purchase price, I'm going to say, let's throw in $20 million. All right. That's what we're going to start. And for this, we're going to put 20% down because it's even though it's 1973 construction, it's most likely going to be a government agency debt. So we'll do 5% interest. Amortizing note, we're going to do 30 years, because we're getting Fannie Mae paper. I'm going to put 2% in for the closing cost. The disposition cap rate I'm going to hold off on just now because I don't even know what cap rate I'm offering this at. So what you need to know is the disposition cap rate is what the property is going to trade for in 5 to 7 years at the end of your hold. And the reason why we typically bump it up 10 basis points for every year that you hold it, it means that the property is devaluing over that period of time. It's getting older, so it's not going to be worth as much. That's provided the market remains exactly where it is right now. So that's if we have to sell this deal to a bank and convince them that our analysis is good, we're not going to go in there and buy it at a 7 cap and tell everybody that our disposition is going to be at a 4. That's ridiculous. You go in there, you buy it at a 7, and you show everybody that at a disposition cap rate of 7.5, this is still a very good deal. So we'll come back to the disposition rate in just a moment. It's got 124 units. All right. Now, the average monthly rent, we don't quite know. And I'm going to show you actually what I should have done. I'm going to fix that in just a moment. But before I do, I'm going to go continue on with this analysis. So I'm going to say, I was talking to a student yesterday He told me that in that area, you'd probably get around the 2,000 number for the rents. I'm going to confirm that before we seal this deal. The vacancy rate, they said, was 97%. Yeah, all right. I'm going to put in a vacancy of 6. All right. I don't believe anything the broker tells me. Annual growth rate, I'm just going to put in 2. All right. That might need to come down. I want to be conservative. I want to convince the bank that these numbers work even when they're stressed, even when they're not pie in the sky numbers. Other income reducers, I'm not going to get into those right now. Now, remember, we have nothing to go on. I've got to confirm the rents here. That's the first thing. I'm going to confirm the rents. And then I'm going to assume a particular expense ratio. And if I do that, I have enough for the back of the cocktail napkin type of analysis to be able to figure out what this NOI should be on this property. So let's take a look. I am now, because it's a 1973 construction, probably a chiller boiler. I cannot believe that it's a tenant paid property. I'm going to assume that the expense ratio on this property is 60%. 73 construction, older property, C minus property. So over here, I'm just going to click this button and I'm going to put in 60% expense ratio. And then that's going to tell me how our numbers look. I'm going to come down here, capital expenditures. We're going to leave that alone. I'm going to do a 7-year hold period. Let's see how our numbers look. Okay. So remember, the only thing we're really fooling around with right now is this $20 million price point. And as you can see, at 20 million, our debt service coverage ratio is 1.19. Yeah, we could get a loan, but we're not going to sleep very well at night. So that's telling me right there that based upon these terms for the debt, this purchase price of 20 million is not going to work for me. Cash on cash is 4.5%, nothing special. Internal rate of return is not calculating. Why? Because I don't have a disposition cap rate in there. This cap rate that we're buying at 20 million, cap rate's about 6.5. I'm going to come back up here to the disposition cap rate, and I'm going to say that we're going to use a 7 for a disposition cap rate. Now their internal rate of return is almost 10%. Guys, this 20 million is not doing it for me. It's not. This is not. Remember, this is a C-solid property. This thing has to work and really spit off money if it's going to get any of my investors excited. So if we made it an $18 million offer, the debt service coverage is now 1.3, cash on cash 7.6, IRR of 16. Okay, well, that's starting to come up there. Cap rate 6.5. All right, still, I'm not liking 7.66. I need to get higher. So that what I'm going to do, and now we could do seller financing. We could try to do some fun stuff that way. I don't think that's really going to solve the problem. The thing that's going to solve the problem is the purchase price. So let's do 1.7 million. All right. 1.4 is a debt coverage, 10% cash and cash, 20% IRR. I'm good to go. Now, watch what I do, because I haven't confirmed the rents, and that's a very big number. I used a number that I got from one of my students. So I'm going to save this analysis. I'm going to call it Orlando deal unpriced before rent analysis. Okay. CTD. I'm just going to put my initials on here. Save the analysis. Okay, so that's in there now. Now let's go back. Let's go back to engage on this particular property. Here it is again. I want to view the details. Now let's go through this property and really figure out what's good about it. I can click on this picture right here, share this tab. Okay, now I can start driving around, checking it out. The beacon at Seminole Lakes. Okay, nice looking property. Look at that, has individual HVACs on the top. Huh, I might be wrong with my 60% expense ratio. No in-wall AC units, so it must have central air, but what is driving it? Oh, look at individually metered. I'm going back, I'm changing my expense ratio. Definitely. Very nice. Look at that. Okay, I can go in here and drive around. Oh, nice pool. course. And you know what the brokers call that? A crystal pool. Okay, so right away, just by taking this drive around, I'm going to share this tab right now. Because of just taking a look around, it's going to change my analysis, even though the broker has given me nothing. All right, now the next thing I'm going to do when I'm discovering this is I'm going to see if I can get a hold of the owner. Nope, no skip data available, skip trace data available on this particular owner. All right, that's fine. Now let's take a look, see what's happened. Okay, they bought this back in 2018. So they were buying this pretty high in the market. And that might have been a problem. Let's take a look and see. Oh, look at this. Here's the valuation. And look at this mortgage balance, 9.6. They might have stolen this property. They have a lot of room on this property. That's pretty cool. Now we can do a deep dive. Look at, if I come down here, I can click on the button deep dive. And what do you think I'm going to look for in the deep dive? What the apartment rents are. Right down here. Look at this, 2-bedroom, 1,600. I was way off. Okay, we got to go back and just change our analysis altogether on this property. So let's do that right now. I'm going to click on this one. I'm going to click here. Oops, go on. I'm going to view the details. Let's come back over here to the financial analysis. Now I can pull up the old numbers, but hey, why don't I just go ahead and rebuild it? All right, won't take me but very quickly. Interest rate 5%, amortization 30 years. I gotta always make sure that that's done right. Okay, there we go. All right, disposition cap rate we'll say is 724 units. Average monthly rent $1,600. Now I read the flyer, and they're saying that you can get a rental premium of about $250 over what they're currently charging. That's fine. That's my money. That's not the seller's money. So I'm going to keep it with what we have at the vacancy of the actual rent that we find, the market rents of $1,600. Vacancy rate, we're going to go back to that 6. I'll do the 2% growth. Other income, nope. Now here's where we go back to use the estimate. Okay, so I'm going to take it from 60% expense ratio down to a 50% expense ratio, and let's see how our numbers look then. All right, look at folks, 1.28 debt coverage ratio, 7.14 cash on cash return. It's not giving me any numbers on the IRR because we have to add a hold period. So we do 7. Now we're looking at 16. And remember, these guys have a $9 million mortgage. All right, so I'm going to go in. I'm just going to get aggressive. I'm just going to get aggressive with my numbers. 1.36 debt coverage, 920. Perfect. I like this deal. So let's save this one. Save this analysis. I'm just going to say, let's make an offer. And I'm going to come down here. Use this for the offer. Now, folks, we've done all of this. We're all tied in. The property's all underwritten. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go back to engage. We're going to click on this property again. We're going to view the details. And now, folks, now what we're going to do is we're going to make an offer. You come right on over here to legal documents, click on letters of intent. Now, as you can see, this offer here, this system, the AI, has already generated a letter of intent for you. You can just determine what type of offer you want to make. Do you want to use a short form LOI, long form? These are all the LOIs that I use, that I teach my students to use. We can do a master lease. If it's an assumption, we can take on the assumption. We don't want to take on the assumption on this deal. I mean, because the underlying debt that we would be assuming is about 50% of the purchase price. That means we've got to come up with the other 50%, which is going to kill our cash on cash return. Seller financing. Hey, like I always say, don't ask, you don't get. If you want to make an offer on this deal and in the form of seller financing, here is your letter of intent. And then when you're ready to go, we've already got your purchase and sale contract built in, so that you just come in, fill in a few additional numbers and hit enter, have your local attorney give it his blessing, and then we're good to go. All right. So in this case, I'm just going to hit the short form letter of intent. All the information, the owner's last name, street address, Orlando. We are going to make a $16 million offer. Is that the right? How much? Oh, I think I need another zero. We're going to put down $1 million earnest money. Now, folks, you might be thinking to yourself, Charlie, I can't do $1 million earnest money. Yeah, but if you're in the club, that's what we do is we go out there and all collectively work towards raising that money for you. Pretty cool, huh? That's not like, any of these other programs. Granted, everybody's got some form of AI, but does it have all of the other things that you need to be a successful operator? Now, on this property, we're going to do a 30-day inspection. We're going to do 60 financing, and we're going to do 90 close. And folks, I click this button, and I don't know if you'll be able to see it. It just goes right up into the download, and I just go ahead, and there it is. LOI short form is all in the system now. Now we made that offer, and as you can see, we can then go and follow up on this particular property, so that follow up on the offer, and you just go ahead and do that, and it'll pop right in. Now I'm done. What is it? 11:27. I found a deal. I made an offer. It took me 2 seconds. If you want to see what the offer looks like, let me show you. I'm going to pop this up. See if it allows me to do this. Come on, baby. Downloads. There we go. It's opening. All right, and I enable it. So I'm just going to come back over here. Come back in. Let me see. Stop the share. Now I'm going to come back on over here. Go back to StreamYard and start the share again. Screen share. Window. Here we go. There we go. All right. So check this out. This is our offer. I can move this down. Here's all the information about me. And you might be thinking to yourself, well, how'd that get in there? Because when I built out the program and I put in my account information, I told the system what business address I wanted, what phone number I wanted, so that every time I go to generate a letter of intent, or if I go out and I just want to send out a marketing letter, which you can easily do, then all of a sudden, all my information automatically populates. Dear owner of record, please find out below. And then we go in there. There's my $16 million. There's my $1 million earnest money deposit. There's my 30-day inspection. There's my 60-day financing. And there's my 90-day close. Actually, we should make that 30 days because it's going to be after the end of the financing period. It says that when you're filling in the blanks. I didn't read it. So, and then also there you go. You sign off on it. And here down here, there's all of your due diligence requirements. Right in the very first document, you're sharing with them. And obviously, this is the most important one. Itemized bank statements for the last 12 months. That is key. And so there you have it. We just made an offer. Anybody else have any? I'm going to jump on back over to here. Anybody else have any other types of properties that you want to take a look at? Go in, find a deal, search them out. You don't need the paperwork now. You don't need the T12. You don't need the trailing 12. You will need it eventually, but you can make offers right now just by getting on the system. I can go back and I can send the owner of that property an email directly from the system saying, hey, I like your property. I'd love to talk to you more about it. Talk to me. So it's all built in. AI is the way to go, folks. It's the coolest thing in the world. So what I'm going to do is just jump back on over here and walk you through how you get signed up, because everybody needs this program and everybody needs the Capital Club as part of it, which we'll be getting into. I'll show you how that works in our next session. So let me come back on over, share screen, click on this, just go ahead and share. What you're going to do here is at the home button, come on down here, check out everything you're looking for. I'm already in there. If you come on up here to pricing, choose the program that works for you. All you got to do is come up here. Make sure you click if you want monthly or you want annually. If you want monthly, come over, choose the monthly. Go ahead and click Get Access. And now let me tell you a little bit more. And this is what's gonna happen is when you join the Pro, you will instantly get access to the community, and that means every morning from 8:30 to 9, we have a morning huddle. Kind of gets people focused. We get to know each other because we're all friends in this business. And you get to, share your deals. You get to look at other deals that are happening. I mean, you come on over here to fund. You can come over and take a look at what properties are looking for financing and looking for equity. And you can go ahead. The way this works is you put your own property up here, and we go to work towards helping you fund the deal. So what you need to do is come on over. Click on monthly or annually. I'm going to do monthly, get access. And then as soon as you do Monday morning, we're going to have you in the group at 8:30. You can start learning about it. And then Monday afternoon, Monday evening, 7 to 8 p.m. every single Monday. We've done this for the last 15 years. We have a live, we call it Monday Night Live. And we all get together. We talk about different properties. I teach. You have direct access to me. And that's one of the beautiful things. So this program gives you the AI component. You just saw how quickly you can make offers. It has and every single multifamily property in the country is in there. It has the community built in. And it also has the Capital Club, which is the coolest thing in the world. Never had this when I was a kid, and now. That's it. So let me check to see if they have any questions. Let me see. Good morning, Mr. Dangle. Always a pleasure. Always a pleasure. Hello, Elise. Elise, I had two students that had that very similar question. I tried calling you, Elise. I left you a message. Let me know if you called me back and I missed it. Is this offer going to be mailed? Okay, it can be mailed. Absolutely, Paul. As you can see, we didn't have the email address for the owner when we did the skip trace. So we wouldn't be able to email it to the owner. But remember, this particular property is on the market. So what we really should do is take our LOI and send it to the broker. Just send it to the broker. Hey, look at the property. You didn't give me much to work with, so here's my offer. You're in the game. You are in the game. So there we go. All right, let's see. If item K is the most important in the offer letter, the trailing 12, why not put it first for due diligence request? Minor point. Llama. Okay, Llama. All right. So there's no reason why it's down there. No scandal. No, not trying to hide it. It's not the trailing 12. It wasn't the trailing 12 that I was asking for. It was 12 months of bank statements. That if you're doing the forensic accounting on this property and you need to verify everything on it, you have to have a point to start from. And this point is better off being given to you and documented by an independent third party like the bank. Don't trust what they give you in a handwritten cocktail napkin. Get it verified from the bank. So if we have 12 months of bank statements, we get to see how that property is receiving the money. That's our starting point. How much money did they bring in last year? All right. So that's why that request is the most important, and they fight you on it. People who have not been keeping good books fight you on that because they know, hey, you see that, you see everything. And they give you excuses like, well, I own a couple different properties and we commingle the money. Okay, all right. I'll give you a way to overcome that objection. Or, other one, well, we've only owned the property for the last 6 months, so we don't have 12 months of bank statements. They come up with everything you can imagine. If they tell you that, well, we commingle because we own other properties, or they also say, oh, you know what, the owner uses it like it's an ATM machine, so money's coming out all the time. I say, I don't care. I don't care. I need to see, I don't care what he spends his money on. I want to see what the property has generated. See, because when I buy the property, he's not coming along with me. I get to control the spending, but I need to see what the property has been able to generate over the last 12 months to verify that this is actually a good cash flowing property. And they'll make up the point like, well, geez, we commingled the funds and blah, blah. I tell you what, why don't you give me the information that you gave your accountant in order to generate the K1s? Because no accountant's going to sign off on the K1s if he hasn't verified all the information. So that's why that is the most important thing on there. Why is it down the bottom? No real reason, but let me give you a little bit of a hint. So as you can see, the way that we make the offers, we put that Schedule 1 or the due diligence listing information in the very first document we send to these people. Very first document. Can't say you didn't get it. Every single offer since then, I've put it on there. So they know what's coming. Then we get to the purchase and sale stage, and Article 6 encompasses everything in that Schedule 1. I copy the whole thing, and I paste it into the purchase and sale. It's only then that the owner starts saying, hey, wait a minute, I can't provide you with this document or that document. I said, why don't you tell me that before we sign the LOI? Well, okay, now you're telling me what I can't have. That's kind of poor form, Mr. Seller, but we'll work with it. So that's when you start to see them negotiating it. When I get back a letter of intent and I look at that Schedule 1 and nothing has been crossed out, I know the guy didn't read it. And it's always happened. It becomes a problem in the purchase and sale stage. The guy didn't read it because there are things in that document that I know he can't provide for me, but he didn't cross it out. One of the best examples I can give you is a as-built survey. Now, for those of you that don't know what an as-built survey is, if you go back and look at that schedule, it's in there. There's an as-built survey in there. An as-built survey is what the architects come in afterwards and fix. The architect designs the building, everything's done on a piece of paper, and then the general contractor, the contractor gets in there and he says, we can't put that door that way. We got to put it over here. And he fixes everything and makes things work. Then the architect has to go back in there and redo his survey, his documents to show how it was actually built. I've only seen in all the properties I've ever worked on, I've only seen one as-built survey. That's it. Just one. So I know, dollars to donuts, that seller does not have an as-built survey. All right. Well, we'll move on from it. So that's Lama. That's why there's no real reason, but at least I know the guy's gone through the whole document and read every single line. That might be the right answer, Lama. Don't try to play Stump the Professor, Lama. It's never going to work out well for you. Can you explain what is the difference between short and long form? Okay, great question. Thanks, Paul. Okay, why use either for what reason? Yeah, all right. So here's why we have a short form and here's why we have a long form. Honestly, because of AI, it's so simple. It doesn't matter. They're both just as easy to generate. The issue is with the negotiation process. So as you can see here, we're sitting here in Saturday morning. We're just waiting for the college football games to start, and we're just getting an offer out the door. And the guy hasn't really given us a whole lot to work with. So I'm tossing my hat in the ring with a short form LOI. The short form LOI has the fewest amount of paragraphs to negotiate. So that means that when it comes to the purchase and sales stage, it's going to take a lot longer to negotiate this deal. So, but hey, that's all the guy gave me. So I just sent him out a short form LOI. A long form LOI essentially has all of the elements of a purchase and sale agreement in it. And we negotiate it at the LOI stage. And so when we then get the executed LOI and then transfer it over to a purchase and sale, there's nothing to negotiate. It's all been done already. So it's going to move very, very quickly. So if you don't have the money, if you don't have the earnest money deposit ready, and you got to go out there and raise the earnest money deposit, and you need more time, use the short form. If you found a smoking hot deal that you just want to get, oh, I need that property now. I want this thing. It better not go anywhere. Get the long form LOI and get that thing locked up with a purchase and sale contract as quickly as you possibly can. That's the difference between the short form and the long form, Paul. Great question. Awesome. All right. So, folks, what are you waiting for? Let me come on over here. You can, let me see. This is where you want to go. This is where you want to go. Let me comments. There's a website, MultifamilyOS.ai. We call it OSAI. And it is the best SaaS program for multifamily investors. It has everything that you need. If you need something and it's not in there, let us know. It's probably in development. So definitely go out there and test it out. You can try it out for free. You're not going to get all the components in the core model or the plus model that you do in the pro model. And if you scroll down on this website, MultifamilyOS.ai, you can easily see what the differences are between the different programs. But listen, $297 a month. It's what everyone needs to have in their toolbox. Would you wait it to hear back from marketing before sending an LOI? Oh no. Okay, so Paul's asking about, you see, what happens is, let me come on. I'm going to jump back on over. I'm going to share my screen again, so Paul can see this. All right, so we come on over here, and let me come on up to. Let's engage this property. So there's our property. It always makes it too big. Now, what Paul's saying is, if I check this box here, it now opens up some of the things in the engagement center, like the marketing materials. Now, I can draft a marketing email or a marketing letter to the owner of this property and just send it on out. I can't do a marketing email on this particular property because it has no email address from the skip tracing. So if I find another property, let's take a look at this one right here. And I go ahead and I click on marketing email. This one doesn't either. But let me just check to see. I can just come up here to view details. I can run skip trace. Yep. Nope, that one failed. So, if I find one, I think this one right here, this one is a good one. So if I click on this and I view the details and I come on over here to marketing materials and I come to marketing email, if I click on that, it's going to, because I already know this guy, I already skip traced this guy. So it's going to automatically pop up an email to this particular owner, inquiry about your property at 64. It's already filled out for you. Dear Mary, because we know her name was Mary. And we tell her all the stuff, and you can add. And the thing is, if you don't like this message to Mary, go ahead and just delete it and send her your own message. Okay. So that is, I'm going to get out of this because I don't want Mary keep getting inundated with that property. So let me see if I'm going to come back over here to here. Okay. So to answer Paul's question, would you wait to hear back from a marketing letter? No, I wouldn't. Never. I mean, a marketing letter is the start of the conversation. And the thing is that this, here the property we just analyzed in Orlando, we know it's for sale. We know there's a broker. So let's get them the offer. If we were just looking at that property that I just showed you in Tampa and we sent Mary an email, I wouldn't follow up with an LOI. I mean, I haven't even talked to Mary. I want to build up a rapport with Mary before I say, hey, Mary, I'd like to make an offer on your property. Well, I haven't sent you any information. That's okay. Let me figure it out. We'll see how we look. So that's kind of you're putting the cart way before the horse if you send out a marketing letter and then follow it up with a letter of intent right afterwards. That's they're going to look at you like, who's this guy? So no, don't do it that way, Paul. I did that one in Tampa, email letter at Robert's app. Oh, cool. Good for you, Paul. That's awesome. Now, Paul, what you have to do is let me get out of here. I'm going to show everyone what Paul is going to be doing next. Is I'm going to go to share screen. I'm going to do it right here. Okay, so what Paul's going to do is when he comes over and he looks at the headlines, this is what, once you get signed up, you're going to come to this particular screen. Your system's going to open with this screen every day. And Paul's going to get reminders. Next 7 days, he's going to get updates to go and follow up with these properties. There's one right there, Roberts Ave. I think we were using it in one of the other things that we do. And now we know that on November 27th, I'm going to follow up with this particular property owner and say, hey, I like your property. Let's talk some more. And now the thing is, Paul can send another email to that person. And he doesn't have to, it's all built right in the system. I mean, he can just click on that marketing email. It pops back up again. He can delete the template that we built in there already, and he just sends the person, "Hey, I sent you an inquiry a week ago. I just want to touch base with you, make sure you got it, see if it's something you're interested in. Start the dialogue. Remember, in this business, you're in sales. Best salespeople, the ones that can identify what the buyer's problem is and create a solution for it. And that's what you're going to do. But if you haven't even spoken to the person, how do you know what their problem is? They may not really have one. Everyone's got one, but they might not really even have one. So that's how you do it. Keep in touch with these people. And this system, this OS.ai, tracks your communications with all these owners. So you just say, okay, I'll call you back in a week. Put it in the tickler file. It pops back up every time you turn on the system. It does stuff for you. So, all right, that's all I got for you today. 48 minutes, how to make offers using AI. Jump on the MultifamilyOS.ai program. Everybody should have it. If you're interested in this business, this is how you're going to do it, because not only do we give you the system and the tools, that $297 buys you access to the Capital Club, which I'll talk about in 2 weeks, right after Thanksgiving. And it also buys you access to the community of other investors who you will all work with at some point through your process. That's how, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go with others. And that's exactly what this program does. It helps you go with others, helps you find the money, and it helps you find the deals, all using AI. All right. Great to see you all. So lovely. And I will chat with all of you later. And I'll see you I'm going to be teaching. Oh, I'm not teaching next Wednesday. I'm traveling next Wednesday. So I am off next week. And I'll be back after that. And we'll be talking about money. We're talking about other things. But go ahead, jump on OS.ai and get started right away. Thanks, everybody. Great to see you all. And I'll see you in 2 weeks. Bye-bye.